Let's jump right into it. Today, we're unpacking the invisible mechanics behind what is arguably the biggest technological shift happening in the modern kitchen right now: induction cooking. We're going to break down the physics, the thermal efficiency, and the actual real-world data behind this invisible heat. I mean, it really starts with a simple question, right? One that highlights this fascinating physical paradox. How on earth does a stove boil water so incredibly fast, but the glass surface right underneath it stays totally cool to the touch? Honestly, it feels like a magic trick. It completely defies our traditional understanding of cooking, which, has always relied on making a hot fire or a glowing hot element and just sort of hoping that heat eventually makes its way into our food. So let's get right into Section 1, the magic of induction. To really understand this shift, we have to look at the fundamental difference in how heat is actually generated. Think about it. With gas, you've got an open flame heating the bottom of the pan. With traditional electric, a glowing coil heats the pan. In both of those cases, the heat is generated outside the cookware, meaning a ton of that energy is just lost to the surrounding air. But induction completely flips the script. The heat location isn't the stove at all. It's inside the pan. The cookware itself literally becomes the heat source, which is exactly why the surface of the stove stays relatively cool. Which brings us to Section 2, the physics, eddy currents. Okay, so let's look under the hood. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of what actually happens the second you turn an induction cooktop on. First, alternating current flows through a tightly wound copper coil sitting just beneath the ceramic glass. Next, this creates a rapidly oscillating magnetic field, typically pulsing super fast, between 20 and 100 kilohertz. Now, this invisible magnetic field passes completely harmlessly right through the glass top. Then, when that magnetic field hits a magnetic pan, it induces these swirling loops of electrical current, they're called eddy currents, right inside the metal of the pan. And finally, the pan's own electrical resistance fights against those swirling currents, and bam, that friction creates heat. Now, there's actually a specific scientific term for this exact phenomenon: Joule heating. This is simply the process where the energy of an electrical current is converted into heat as it flows through a resistance. Because those swirling eddy currents are experiencing resistance from the metal pan, intense heat is generated almost instantaneously, entirely inside the cookware. So no flame, no glowing element, just pure physics at work. A really helpful way to wrap your head around this is to think of the pan as the secondary coil of a transformer, basically a short circuit on purpose. The copper coil under the glass is the primary coil, sending out wireless power. And your frying pan, well, that's the secondary coil, catching that power. It's an absolutely brilliant application of wireless power transfer, happening right there on your kitchen counter. But there is a small catch, which leads us to Section 3, the cookware catch. Because the whole system relies on magnetic fields to induce those heating currents, there is one practical requirement. Your cookware absolutely has to be magnetic. Cast iron, enameled steel, magnetic stainless steel, those work perfectly. But aluminum, copper, and glass, they simply won't work. Well, unless the manufacturer has attached a special magnetic base layer to them. The quickest at-home diagnostic for this is the famous magnet test. Literally, if a fridge magnet sticks firmly to the bottom of your pan, you're generally good to go. But hey, let's go a little deeper than just the magnet test, because true compatibility is actually a bit more complex. For optimal efficiency, the pan's magnetic permeability needs to exceed a value of 300. Plus, the metal's electrical resistivity needs to sit right in a sweet spot between 50 and 85 microohm centimeters. If it's too low, those eddy currents are shallow and the heating is just poor. And, crucially, this is a big one, the base thickness should be a minimum of 3.2 millimeters. If it's thinner than that, or if the pan is warped even slightly, the cooktop sensors will actually detect a drop in efficiency, and that can trigger error codes or cause the whole stove to shut down entirely. No way, right? All right, moving right along to Section 4, efficiency and thermal control. So all this precise physics builds into a massive, and I mean massive, leap in energy to food efficiency. Think about it. When you turn on a gas burner, a shockingly large amount of that heat just rolls right up the sides of the pan and heats your kitchen air. That gives gas a measly 37.5% efficiency rate. Radiant electric is slightly better at 72.5%. But induction sits at a staggering 87.5% efficiency. Because the heat is generated inside the pan itself, almost zero energy is wasted heating up the air around it. And what does all that efficiency actually mean for you when you are making dinner? It means speed. Lab data shows it takes just 8.3 seconds to boil a single liter of water on a high-power induction setting. To put that into perspective, that exact same liter of water takes 14.7 seconds on a gas stove and a downright painful 19.2 seconds on a traditional electric coil. That's a huge difference. But speed aside, the absolutely crucial point here is the precision this tech affords you. Induction maintains target temperatures with a stability of plus or minus zero point 0.8 degrees Celsius. And get this, it responds to your adjustments in under a second, somewhere between zero point 0.4 and 0.7 seconds to be exact. Think about cooking on gas. You turn the dial down, but those heavy iron grades stay hot, causing what's called thermal overshoot. You know the feeling having to constantly monitor your pan to make sure you aren't burning your food? Well, induction completely eliminates that overshoot. It severely reduces your cognitive loads. You can actually focus on chopping vegetables or, helping the kids with their homework without ruining dinner. Now let's zoom out a bit for Section 5, Safety and Environmental Impact. Okay, let's systematically debunk a major myth right now, the fear of EMF radiation. Some people get really worried about having magnetic fields in their kitchen, but the fact is, induction emits safe, non-ionizing fields. According to hard data from the FDA and the IEEE, at a normal standing distance of about 30 centimeters, the magnetic flux density is between 0.12 and 0.35 microteslas. To put that in everyday terms, that is actually lower than the emissions from the standard laptop you probably have sitting on your lap right now. We also definitely need to highlight the massive fire safety and honestly the cleaning benefits. Because the glass only warms up from secondary contact with the hot pan, induction surface temperatures operate 32 to 45 degrees Celsius lower than radiant electric units. So if you spill a sugary sauce, which happens for the best of us, it doesn't instantly bake into some rock-hard crust on the glass. Plus, the surface cools down about 60% faster after you remove the pot, making accidental burns way, way less likely. Finally, let's look at how this fits into the bigger environmental picture. Unlike gas, induction produces literally zero indoor nitrogen oxide or carbon monoxide emissions, radically improving your indoor air quality right off the bat. Furthermore, it really acts as a systems-level upgrade for your home's energy grid. It has a gentle power ramp rate around 1.8 to 2.4 kilowatts per second, meaning it plays incredibly nicely with home battery systems like a Tesla Powerwall. And for the broader smart grid, utility companies can actually slightly modulate the power draw during peak demand hours, and you wouldn't even notice a drop in cooking performance. How cool is that? Which really leaves us with this final thought. When you look at the sub-second precision, the massive drop in wasted heat, and the flawless integration with modern renewable energy systems, is your stove just heating food, or is it time for a systems-level efficiency upgrade in your home? Induction isn't just a different way to fry an egg. It's a massive leap forward in how we manage energy in our daily lives. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some curiosity about the invisible forces at work right there in your kitchen.